Okay, I have put some of our base coating colors for our scrolls in. I put some of the green areas in, and I'll go ahead and put in some more with you. After we do that, we're going to erase our graphite lines. This part right here looks a little opaque because I made it dark and shouldn't have, so I added a little some yellow oxide to it. Couldn't get it light enough, so I added some of our medium beige and got it light enough, but it is opaque instead of transparent like these are. But maybe when the all of the design is done, it will fade back a little bit. This is called the medium yellow green. To me, it looks very, very brown. So, you know, that's the mix I came up with, and I mixed it 2 or 3 different times, and it looks green on my palette, but it's brown here. So, anyway, I'm going to go with that. So, we want to put some extender on. I've got some of that on, and need to kind of move it around a little bit. I got it on a little thick. You do not want your colors swimming because they'll bleed out of the scroll and destroy your light area. So I'm going to put in a few more of these with you here on the tape. Make sure I've got the right color. Okay. I'm going to side load my brush. But before we get started, I want to call your attention to this page in the instructions, and notice very carefully that where these scrolls intersect, you don't want to pull your stroke and curve it. Pull your stroke and curve it, because you see how they don't match up there? But you need to just pull like you're just straight on, like you're going to go right on through. Now you may want to, on some of these, pull it through, and then when you get to the one that goes on top, just go ahead and pull it all over. You know, maybe try to lighten your brush right in through here. If you can't manage to not do this by stopping and starting, then by all means come straight through it and lift up your brush so that you don't have very much pigment in this area, and keep on going. And then when you come back with the other stroke, then it will cover it. And I believe that I can see that that's been done in our step photo too. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and side load this filbert in the medium yellow green. Just going to work it into the brush. And I also believe that we are instructed to put some glaze medium on the other side of the brush. So let me do a little of that. Just kind of dipping it in there. And then I'll blend it in my palette. So I do need some dark in through here. I don't need it anywhere there. So I'm going to start out pulling it, and you want to pull all the way through. You can pull more than once on this, but you want to pull it all the way to the end. And since I have a side load, then my pigment is heavier on this edge. And I'm twirling it in my hand as I go around. I'm not quite doing it as I should, because look, I'm going away from my body. But let me use the mop here. So what I should be showing you is wind up the hand and come all the way through, and look how much easier that is. Okay, and here's where we intersect. I'm going to go ahead and pull that over and come down into the other scroll. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blur this edge with my mop, and there we have that scroll. And we didn't have those turn-offs like you wanted to make sure that we don't do. Okay, so let's see, we have, make sure this is right side up so I can follow it along, and I do want to soften this right here quite a bit. In this design, we're going from light to dark instead of the other way around, so it's a little hard to get used to. So let me load my brush again. I'm going to put some of this glaze medium on my wax palette so that I can just dip into it. Okay, so we are going to start with this edge, and looking at my picture, it's still fairly transparent, so I'm not going to push. And here I am again trying to pull away from myself. So I'm not going to put a whole lot of pressure on the brush so that it can stay kind of transparent. I'm going to come all the way through here and keep going all the way up. And then I'm going to take my mop brush and blur it right there where the other scroll passes through. And now those scrolls match. So I like that idea a whole lot better than trying to stop and start. Got a little bit of a paint bead right here, so let me pull that off. Okay, now that doesn't look half bad on that one. Let's again blur the edge. Get a little better mop. That's kind of a cheap mop. And Kingsland mops are really very nice, especially like the smallest ones, but even these larger ones are nice too. Okay, so we've got I have to be careful to keep this. There we go. Okay. So I've got that one. And this is the orange one. Looks like I need to be a little deeper right there. So let's work on that. Again, I'm going to start in here where that scroll is overlapping. And then blur it. Okay, and I think let's do a little cleanup along here as well. There we go.